welcome or welcome back to Crafts by KMW. Thank you so much for checking out this video today, and I hope you enjoy it. If you do, please give it a thumbs up to like the video. It really helps me out. And if you're not a subscriber yet, please consider subscribing. You can get access to all of my previous videos. My catalog is growing, and notification of when I post new ones like this one. Thank you so much for subscribing, and thank you to all of my current subscribers. I really appreciate you, and I hope you're enjoying the channel. So today I am going to test out the new eraser pencils that I bought. These are by Faber-Castell. I featured these in my mini supply haul video, which was just released. So you can go check that out on the channel. They come in a pack of 3 from Amazon for $9.99, basically $10. And they're made by Faber-Castell. They're called the Perfection 1057 eraser pencil. And they have 2 ends. They have a pink end and they have a white end. Now the white end is hard, it's not flexible. And the pink end is rubbery, it's actually flexible. I can flex it and move the point. So there were no directions that came with this pencil. So I went back to the listing on Amazon and read the description again. And basically the white side is the harder eraser that can be used for ink, India ink, and ballpoint pens. And some reviews also said that the white side is really good for erasing heavier colored pencil if you have multiple layers down, or if you've already burnished or blended with a blender or Gamsol or something, that the white end works for that as well. And then the pink end is for your pencils, graphite and colored pencil. So I'm going to go ahead and test them now and see how these work. Most of the reviews on Amazon, as I said in the haul video, are pretty positive. Some people said that the white end really doesn't work or do too much. So I'm really interested to see how that works. So I've made a couple swatches of colored pencil. So this is a Brutfuner pencil. So this is 1 layer, this is 2 to 3, and this is like 4 or 5 burnished and blended with a colorless blender. And then same thing here with a Prismacolor pencil. And then I have a couple of gel pens. So I picked a lighter color, red, and a darker color, a purple. And then I have a regular ink pen that I'm going to do. So first I'm going to erase the Brutfuner. So I'm going to use the pink side first. So the pink side is pretty soft. So that's the erasure mark that I made. So I could see this being used if you have a really small spot, maybe you just got a little smudge out of the line, or you went over a little bit in a little area and you want to erase it. I would say that that would be really appropriate for that. I also think this could be good if you want to use it to erase some color, like to make folds or creases, say like in clothing or highlights. So I did a little V here so you can see it doesn't erase completely. And because it's flexible, I don't know if you can see me moving the point, but it does, you don't have a whole lot of control. Hi, Finn. So here's my buddy Finn once again. Okay. I go through this every day when I color or make a video. All right, come on, buddy. Okay, hello. Okay. Giving some kitty love right now. Hang on, I'll be right back. Okay, all right. Sorry about that. All right, so as I was saying, this end is pretty flexible, so you don't have a lot of control, at least as far as I can see. So now I'm gonna do the side with, or the swatch with multiple layers. Now I've made several passes. It's erasing it pretty well. It's not perfect. You would, if you were trying to erase the color and get rid of it, I don't think this is really the one that you would choose. It is, again, I think it would work very nicely for adding shine or detail. See, like right there, you could add like a highlight in something. Not sure it's great for actual erasing. And as you can see on my point, it is picking up a lot of the color. So the color is hanging out on the tip. So now I'm gonna do the burnished and blended side. This has like 4 to 5 layers. So I went over that quite a bit, and it erased a little, but again, if you want total erasure, that's not going to cut it. Again, I think it's really good for adding highlights in there, but not so much for total erasing. So now let me try the Brutfuner pencil, or excuse me, the Prismacolor, sorry. I guess I had Brutfuner on the brain. So this actually erases a little less well. You can still see a lot of the color. The Brutfuner pencil did erase better with the pink side. Okay. And that took quite a few passes to get that amount of erasure on the 2 to 3 layer side. And then, and it's flaking. It's actually flaking the eraser, either the eraser or the wax. I'm not sure which, but it's definitely making these little fuzzies that didn't happen with the oil-based pencil. Very interesting. So that was using a pretty good amount of pressure and many passes. Again, I think this would be good more for adding highlights rather than erasing completely. So now I'm going to try this with the white side, because many people in the reviews on Amazon said that they use the harder side, the white end, for colored pencil. Okay. So this, you get some flaking on the Brutfuner. And it was actually a little bit harder. I had to use many more passes to get about the same amount of erasure. So let me try this one. I probably shouldn't have used so much of the swatch here. It does a little better on multiple layers. So it did erase. So this is the mark in the middle. So it did erase a little bit better than the pink one. Again, I did have to press, I would say medium pressure, and I did have to do a lot of passes. And so now let's do the burnished and blended one. It actually works pretty well with that. You do get the little fuzzies, but if you keep going, you can erase it almost completely. So you can see how it's almost completely erased. So that works pretty well. So now I'm going to do it on the Prisma. Again, a lot of flaking with the Prisma. Actually more flaking than with the oil-based. Okay. So I definitely got more erasure with more layers. Again, I did have to keep going with it, do many passes, medium pressure. It didn't erase as well as the oil-based pencil did, the Brutfuner. So I'm kind of thinking that this eraser works better on oil-based pencils than it does on wax. So here is the 2 to 3 layer erasure. It's similar, but I did have to do more passes. And here is the 1 layer. Again, it really didn't do too great on the 1 layer. It actually does better on multiple layers. So kind of interesting. So now I'm going to try some ink. Now I'm assuming that it will not work as well when the ink is really dry. So I'm going to put a mark on and then erase right away and see what happens with that. Okay, so that pretty much smeared it and didn't erase it really well. All right, so that blows my theory out of the water. So I'm gonna make a couple other marks and let them dry a bit. So I'm doing couple with purple and a couple with the red. This is actually a neon red. If you're interested, these are New Top gel pens bought from Amazon. I think it's a 36 pack. They were pretty cheap. I think definitely under $10. They work pretty well. They have both glitter and non-glitter, and then there are neons and metallics and just regular gel pens in there. So basically you get 3 of each color. You get a neon, a regular, and a metallic. So they're decent pens. And again, in case you're wondering. All right, so let me see if these are dry yet. Okay, pretty dry. Okay, so here we go again. Okay, that's pretty much just smearing. All right, it's not really erasing. It's more smearing. Now I'm keeping at it on the red. It does make a lot of the little fuzzies. So here you can see that it did kind of erase. So I would say if you make a very small mark, you might be able to get it mostly off. I would also say that you might want to then cover that space with something else. So if this were, say, an area on a coloring page, I might go over that with some white gel pen to really make sure it disappears, or white Posca pen, or I would go over it with a darker color to get rid of it. So it doesn't seem to work really well on a gel pen. I'm gonna do a single line of each color and see if that has any effect on it. Now, those are not the best gel pens in the world. They're just I would say, run-of-the-mill type of gel pen. I don't have really any really expensive gel pens other than a Jelly Roll. So I do have a Jelly Roll Gold here. So I'm going to make a single line with that and see if that has any impact on it. Okay, pretty dry. All right. I'm gonna move the camera in a little bit so you can see a little bit better. Sorry, I probably should have done that earlier. All right. Okay, nothing's really happening on the purple. The red is sort of disappearing. So let me bring that closer to you. The red is lightening a little bit. So it seems that maybe the lighter colors, lighter inks, lighter pigments are a little more erasable. Now let me try the Jelly Roll Gold. Okay. That is erasing pretty well. Actually, I'm going to do the whole line. Wow. That pretty much erased entirely. You can see a little bit of an indent. I'm just using copy paper, but the color is mostly gone. Wow, that's pretty cool. That's interesting. So now I'm gonna do just regular ballpoint pen. So I'm gonna do a little scribble and I'm gonna do a line. All right, and I'll wait till those are dry. Okay, dry. All right, let's see what happens. It's not really doing a whole lot on the larger area. It's kind of smearing it, so there's smudging happening. It is erasing it. It's taking effort though. It is definitely taking some effort. Getting a lot of the little pillies. So it did erase it, but it left a lot of smudging on the paper. So I don't know if you'd really want to do that because it's going to make kind of a mess. Again, if you were going to cover it with something else like white pen or white paint, like Posca pen or paint, or with a darker color or a similarly dark color, I think that would work, but it really did leave a lot of smudging. So now let me try the line. So I'm gonna try to erase this completely. It is finally starting to erase a little bit, but wow, not very much at all. I'm using pretty heavy pressure. I'm going back and forth, back and forth. That is not really erasing too well at all. It lightened it definitely, but it did not get rid of it. Now, I don't know if the brand of pen would make a difference. This is just a run-of-the-mill pen. It's not anything special. I don't even know what company makes this pen. I think it's just some generic pen that I picked up. So I would say it does not have the best ink in it, but I don't know. I always thought ink was ink, so not really, I'm not really sure that it makes a difference. So I do have a black ink pen. So I'm gonna try that. So this is like the ballpoint marker pen. Okay, that is dry. And that does not really erase well at all. A lot of pillies, not really erasing. So here is my overall thoughts for what they're worth. I think as a tool, I think this is worthwhile because it does help. So if you want to put in highlights, or if you've colored an area and you've gone a little bit too dark, you can lighten it with this eraser. I'm not sure it's good for 100% erasing on anything other than a very tiny little spot. I think that it doesn't really erase completely. Now, the paper may matter. If you do it on better paper, higher quality paper, thicker paper, it may do better. But from what I've seen, I think this is really good for highlighting and for erasing very tiny areas. I would say just be prepared to go over your work with white pen or white Posca paint if you want to get rid of it completely, or go over it with a darker color. You will still have some color left over. And then that's for for both sides, because you can erase colored pencil with both sides. And then with the ink, I don't know. I don't think it really works overall. It did do pretty well with the lighter color. But with the darker ink, with the gel pens, with regular pen, it really didn't erase. Now, again, it may be impacted by the quality of the paper and the quality of the ink. Maybe if you use a really high quality ink or a high quality gel pen, or it may work really well. I don't know. What I would say is that I think this is worth having in your arsenal. Is it the only eraser you want to have? Absolutely not. You definitely want to have a multitude of other eraser types in your arsenal to help you. You do not want to use this on very large areas at all, and have a backup plan in case you don't get to erase everything, like having white gel pen, white Posca pen, or a darker color to cover up. And that's my assessment. I think it is worthwhile, but it doesn't work as well as I thought it would. I don't think either end work as well as I thought they would. I'm definitely going to use them. And if I find out any ahas, like I use it on something and it works fantastically, I will share that with you in a video and let you know, because I think it's really important. But those are my thoughts. It's okay, but not as perfect as I expected or as I think it should be. So I hope this was helpful to you. If you have these, I would love to know what you think about them. Do you agree with me? Do you not agree with me? Do you have any tips or tricks? Do you know of any supplies, materials that it works really well with? I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a super fantastic and very crafty day.